Oh, now you guys know the secret Antigua map number.
Here he is. He took a little bit longer to actually arrive in the game. I don't know why the computer of Koka is faster. Let's hope that his mechanics are not, at least for the Prime team. To the bottom of the map in the red, we have our turn player. It is
Marine King Prime!
the one and only.
Yep. The King of Marines. His opponent, known for very, very strong Infestor play. Wants to be announced before I even describe him. From the from the Slayers team! He drives me crazy, he is!
Slayers Koka!
It's gotta be the hair, he's getting me.
He has to feel so good right now. I don't know, there's a lot of Koka fans actually in the audience.
Yeah, a lot.
If I'm Koka now, I feel great. I defeated Bjorn, I defeated Creator, I took down Boom Boom, 3 really strong players, a Terran, a Protoss, and a Zerg. I took away a lot of options of my opponent's team. And now I'm facing Marine King, and Marine King is the one player that nobody really expects me to win, but everybody knows that I could if things go well.
Yeah, it's not a stressful position, you know, unless your goal is to just destroy the entire team, do as well as you can in that regard. I mean, if he's hoping for an all kill, then that's like the only thing that can be really stressful for him, because like you said, no one expects him to crush Marine King, and unless he looks like a fool, which he won't, then he's fine.
Marine King not with the CC first here?
Yeah, actually, that's a really important thing to note, because he loves CC first. This is actually the first time I've seen him go not CC first in a long time.
Maybe a lesson he learned from his opponents, abusing this knowledge with going like double hatch before pool.
Yeah, we have seen, I mean, that is a kind of a thing that happens against Marine King very often with Zergs, because they know he goes for this. We've seen Nesty, like I said earlier, go for an early pool on against Supernova because he expected a early command center. And just a safe choice for Marine King. When you're behind like you are here, we want to make sure that Marine King does not get sniped, does not get killed by something weird. He's going to play super safe. In fact, he is getting 1 gas right now, but not going for the super fast double gas. He's going to be playing a little bit safer.
Guys, remember, the team that loses today is out, and Prime is currently the reigning champion. They were able to defeat the StarTale team in Las Vegas at the finals of the last GSTL season, and it was Marine King who actually took down most of the players of the StarTale team. So it was really impressive to see how well he played. There was this, well, infamous problem that we had with Blizzard still not supplying us with land. They will implement in Heart of the Swarm an option that you can start a game from a replay at any point in time.
Which is so cool.
Which is really what we need, but back then the game between Parting and Marine King is probably one that was discussed like to death already, because, well, it was very unfortunate. Marine King Parting, one of the players actually dropped at the end of the game, and there was a regame, which especially the StarTale team was not happy about. But yeah, the Prime team, the reigning champion, is currently in a really tough spot. If they want to defend their title, they have to pull this off, and it's not all down to Marine King. There's still another player left for them, but Marine King has to win at least a few maps if he wants to make it possible.
Yeah, if he wants to make it worth the fact that they sent him out here first before Maru, for example, or whoever they want to use last, then he's got to prove himself. And Koka has just looked so good this entire Team League series. Does not really show very many weaknesses. You know, he lost a lot of Infestors in the game against Creator, but against Beyond, when he played with his Infestors, he just was so cautious and so careful. He was able to keep them alive. And the thing about Infestors, guys, is that we keep talking about not losing them. The most important part about not losing them is not that you might die if you lose them, but it's that you don't have to rebuild them. So you have so much more gas to use on whatever else you want.
It's also the energy. If you have to rebuild them, if you save them in the time where you would have to build them, they can already gather up a lot of energy that you can use for Fungals and Infested Terrans later on. So it always baffles me when I see a Zerg player do this, that he actually kind of abandons his entire army, not only the cheap Zerglings or Roaches or whatever, but that he also loses his Infestors as well. So Koka doing a great job on the last game. And currently we have the Cloak for Marine King, so he follows this up with Cloak. He's not going straight for some kind of traditional play. I really like what he does here, not overcommitting to any kind of Reactor Factory Hellion play, so I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too. The Cloak follow-up is something that Marine King and Pult especially are really known for in this matchup. Something that Koka probably expects. The question is actually, did he see that? Oh, he tries to scout at the last second there with his Overlord and did not see. He sees the positioning of the factory is kind of far away from the wall, and that in itself will indicate what's going on. And he's only going to see one Hellion, so it seems very likely that he's going to know 100% what Marine King is doing. He won't know about Cloak, but he's going to know that Banshee play is something he will face. Nice cancel there on the Tumor.
And at the same time, also the Scout, obviously, for Marine King, who knows now that he's up against 3 bases, that there's not going to be some kind of Roach and Baneling all-in or attack. The only player who actually tries to do this on 3 bases so far is Suoshin Line, and he has a very nice build to execute it. He has a lot of variations for this early on attack, but Marine King will not be faced with it. He tries to go for a 3rd base, which has been immediately spotted. Very well done here by Koka regarding his Overlord placement.
Yeah, and really nice reaction on the Banshee, seeing the 3rd base of Koka has no drones. He pulls away right away, doesn't even take a single Queen hit. He's not going to waste any time or potential hit points trying to attack a hatchery. He's just going to hold the Watchtower with the Banshee. He's forced Spore Crawlers already.
A lot of Banshees here for Marine King, and I like this a lot. This Banshee style that we've been seeing a lot lately is really strong and also very annoying as a Zerg player. Here comes Banshee number 2 already. A small Zergling run by, probably able to force a cancel on this 3rd. The Marines are moving in now, so I think they are able to shut it down. But the 3rd Banshee is already being built, and with all these Banshees, that's definitely something that will give Koka a thing or two to think about.
Yeah, and there are some Banelings here he can target down after he kills his Queen. He'll get the Queen 100%, and the Banelings are in trouble.
Yes, the Banelings certainly are.
Drones, Banelings, whatever he wants.
He's trying to take down the Spore Crawler though.
And he will get it if he targets it one more time. It forces a cancel on the other one here. Well, he's not forcing a cancel, he just decides he doesn't need it anymore.
Why didn't he have the energy to transfuse? He did, didn't he?
Yes.
That is so weird. He actually he had 559 just now. Maybe he just did not have the energy to use the transfuse on the Spore Crawler. But that's what I actually expected immediately as the Spore Crawler was ready, that we would see him transfuse.
Well, notice already he's limited his opponent's creep spread with this. He forced some Queens on the middle, killed some Queens, forced transfuses earlier. There's just less creep in general than there would be normally at the 10-minute mark. And he may scan and kill more Tumors if he wants to. He's continuing the Banshee harass, killing Zerglings. He's going to try to get some Banelings if he can. I think rather than going for the Spores, killing those Banelings and a few drones would have been better. But look at this, he's just finding any opening he can get with no Overseer nearby, and he's just going to kill this spawning pool. That's very frustrating. Look at that, cloaking only the one that's being attacked and pulling it back. He can do this 3 times with all of his Banshees, forcing transfuses.
And pulls back. He did not really expect to kill it, but he's trying to use his openings. And of course, Koka has to react. He's building a second spawning
pool. And he didn't even kill the original
just in case.
One. Yeah, exactly. So he's forced so much.
Just how his Banshees are used. He forces the creep back. He kills the Queens that are trying to spread the creep. And for a Terran play, it is so important to claim the middle of the base. That's why you want to play Antigua, because you can't deny your opponent's 4th. And a nice scan reveals Tumors. He's taking them down. Finally, we have an Overseer now for Koka, who tries to get rid of these Banshees. They're annoying. They're really annoying to him.
Yeah.
And maybe is Marine King paying attention? Yes, he is. He sees it.
Oh, he needs the cloak. Oh, that could have been bad. Yeah.
But look how Koka immediately starts to spread creep. He finally has something in his army that can reveal the Banshees when they're on cloak, and they moves out with a lot of Queens. He has already 7 in total, so he has 4 on the map, and now he's spreading the creep. He knows that he has to try to get the creep up on the high ground, because that will help him so much to defend it. And the middle of the map, as well as the 4th base, this is what Antigua comes down to.
You know, Marine King is cutting a lot of corners right now. His 2-2 is on the way at the same time as his stim and his combat shields. He got those very late. He lost a few Banshees in the middle there. Down to 1. And he's going to be very careful. This very overzealous with that Banshee. He's going to continue to hold the Watchtower. But right now he has no bunkers set up. He knows with the scouting information that his Banshees granted him that he doesn't need bunkers. He's just got pure Marine tank. His tanks aren't even sieged on the low ground there. I mean, he's just playing this relatively riskily, but it doesn't matter because he's seeing everything. So, I mean, what I'm saying is it's not really a risk, but he's cutting corners because he knows he can.
And it's going to be dangerous to Marine King. Well, sorry, not to Marine King, actually to Koka, because what we are going to see is a huge upgrade advantage for Marine King, who's already on +2/+2, while Koka just started his upgrades. And I don't expect anything less from Marine King than going straight for the 3-3 as soon as he can. This is when it gets really dangerous for a Zerg player, because with the Medivac support, your units are just so strong, and drops are really, really worth it. Here comes a small attack in the middle of the map, though, and I don't think he has the numbers. A beautiful fungal.
He's going to kill everything everything.
Yes, without
Not
a problem at
single
all.
tumor taken out.
Very bad timing here for Marine
And the
King,
run
actually.
by is something he's going to have to face as well. He's going to actually save the majority of these things, but I love that Koka, like you said, he has the 7 queens. He didn't miss a beat with his tumors, even though Marine King put so much pressure on him, he never stopped. And he's already gotten his tumors over the top, and like you said, this is so important in holding the center, and that's the most important part of this map. And even though he's behind in upgrades, he's got this aggressive position that Marine King is going to feel uncomfortable attacking into.
At the same time, though, this Banshee is doing a great job, not only taking down those Zerglings, but also making sure that the 4th base is not possible for Koka at this point before he takes down the Queen. But the Marine, the creep spread is getting crazy on this map. Marine King lost a lot of units early on, is moving out again, he's trying to force the creep back, trying to claim the middle of the map, and he takes down every single Queen here. He catches them off guard, a very good scan, revealing the position of his opponent, and this is what you need to do as a Terran player. You need to know where and when will my opponent attack.
Yeah, and he knows no infestors here, so he can actually move up and take this position. Now, with Marines up on the high ground, with the watchtower, with tanks sieged up potentially, there's no way for the infestors to really move up here. Marine King, interestingly enough, pulling back for a moment, but now he's actually going to really heavily commit to holding the center, and I like this. Now the infestors, the banelings, yeah, they want to attack, they want to take the center, but they can't take it away from him. If he leaves some of his units on the high ground, he has something to fall back to when he does this attack.
3-3 has been started for Marine King as expected. Here come the Zerglings with a run-by attempt as Marine King moves out, tries to put on pressure, and too slow!
Yeah, too slow and double.
Oh my
he
God.
splits them. This is so smart, and he doesn't have a full wall up at his natural, so he can actually just run through it.
Wow.
The Muggles are so good!
My God.
But he's losing some infestors.
He's losing the infestors here, but look at how many SCVs actually die. He already lost 31. Marine King caught with his pants down, and he tries to take down the 3rd, but even if he managed to do it, what is he going to do against the natural? As soon as he moves up the ramp, the infestors will fungal again, and there are definitely enough of them. He needs to stabilize, and this is not going to be an easy task.
The Broodlords are going to make it so hard for him because it's going to be hard to attack. Even though he has a great army, he still has the medevacs out, and his 3-3 is on the way. The Broodlords are really going to stifle his push so much. He may actually have to go home here, but if he hits this base on the right side, goes back, he will stabilize. He just needs more workers.
The worker count is at 37. The command center cannot land because of the 2 Zerglings. The orbital will actually die if he doesn't repair it. Does he repair the orbital? Where are the SCVs? And yes, he does.
He repairs it, but meanwhile in the middle of the map he's losing a ton of units. A little bit of hesitation here from our Zerg player Koka, but he's
moving out.
Yeah, he's moving out. He's not hesitating anymore now.
But does he have Antia to take down? Oh wow, another great fungal here. Make sure that these units don't escape. Just a few lucky Marines and Marauders can escape into the medivac. All the others, they die. And Marine King with a run by Koka, of course, also a little bit hard pressed here. He needs to establish another 3rd, but he is looking at a game where he has attack advantage, where he took down a lot of Harvesters. This does not give him the final edge and the final advantage to win the game, because he could not take down the command centers, the orbitals itself. The mules are still in position. His opponent still has 3 bases, but it gave him a nice and decent lead in economy, as long as he can establish those bases that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I feel like the Marine King has done what he needs to do to damage his opponent. If he killed that hatchery at the top right especially, he would have even been in a lead. But as it is, his opponent has controlled the center, but he can take it. If he gets a key engagement or if he starts splitting his units around really well, he can take the center.
And
scans are so important here.
He's going to try it. Is he moving in here? Koka is moving back in. I love, by the way, that Koka did not overcommit to the attack earlier, that he stayed in the middle, and then that he tries to defend these spaces, that he tries to stabilize.
This is a great angle of attack for Marine King. He's avoiding the center. He's going to try to siege up here and take down this base. If he can force
I don't know. That fungal here would actually be so bad for him.
It would, especially with the Broodlords coming from this angle. One fungal goes down.
And immediately the Broodlords in a position, but the Vikings, they dance around the army of Marine King, trying to find a good spot where they can take down the Broodlords one by one. Marine King struggling to find a good position for himself, but now Koka is just forcing him back, and Marine King has been so careful. One fungal with a clustered up army, and he might lose way too many units here.
Here we go. There's a lot of Marauders in this mix. The Infested Terrans going down. The big problem is the Broodlords, as now all the Vikings are dead, and even though Marine King's army remains alive, he cannot push further forward with the Broodlords and Infestors there. He's on his way out, targeting down Banelings and Infestors, but he loses too much.
This army is so damaged already. All those units are down in the red. Marine King, he tries to run, and one thing that Marine King has never been able to do is establish a 4th base. He has the orbital command, but he cannot land it. There is creep everywhere on this map. Everywhere. And it is so hard for him to actually just move out, take down the creep tumors, and establish this 4th base. Here come the Broodlords. Koka is on the move. He's trying to move in. Marine King trying to make it happen. Attack from every angle possible. Trying to get into position with Marines and Vikings. But Koka is just way too careful.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's up 50 supply here. Look at how careful he is with his Corruptors and Infestors, always guarding against the Vikings. Moving a little bit too far forward with those Corruptors that time, but look at how many workers he's killing. Marine King is in desperation mode. He's moved his orbital away. He's trying to take the base at the 3 o'clock, but there's a Zergling burrowed there. He'll never be able to take it.
Still 4 bases for Koka, and I can't believe what we're seeing here. The Slayers player has MKP on the ropes. Marine King is really struggling. He's trying to pull anything humanly possible off, but right now he would have been to be a robot in order to make this happen. Look at Koka. Is he really taking Marine King out as well? Is he really putting another point onto the scoreboard for his team? It would be 4-1 for Slayers against Prime. Koka is playing so well.
And Marine King is, like you said, he is on the ropes. He is trying to pull off any defense he can. He's got a Thor on the high ground trying to use its anti-air attack to hit any units that get too close. But there's just so many Broodlords. He stims, he runs in with his brains, but there are Banelings ready.
The income for Koka is insane. He's rebuilding units as we speak and still pressuring Marine King, who doesn't have any mining whatsoever. He tried to set another orbital up to the right side of the map at the 4th position, where he can call down mules, but right now that's the least of his problems. He is down to 67 supply against 163, going to lose his Thor as well.
Yep, the Thor falls and the Marines are charging forward, but one fungal can change everything, and it does. The Banelings hit them all, and now Marine King down to 41 supply. All he's got left is that bunker and siege tank, and they're not going to last very long against the Broodlords.
This is a formality. Marine King with a sigh. You see his picture down at the bottom left. And Koka, he is seconds away from claiming victory. 36 supply for Marine King Prime. Koka, he did it. Marine King resides. Look at the picture at the bottom left. He knows exactly that he is not able to come back from this. His famous drop play has been shut down by his opponent. We haven't seen it at all. And Koka does the one. I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
It's phenomenal.
Amazing.
Phenomenal play from Koka. Great crease spread, great map awareness, shutting Marine King down at every turn. 3 additional Broodlords morphing here inside of Marine King's natural. And, well, Marine King, he's still mining from his 3rd base, and he's trying to land his orbital over at the 2 o'clock expansion, but it just will not matter. SCV is starting to fall. There are more Broodlings on the map than there are units for Marine King at this point.
And Marine King can actually not even land his 4th that I mentioned earlier, because there is a Zergling burrowed.
Yeah.
The orbital was just hovering there, so he can't even mine from there if he wanted to. And now he's down to 35 supply. We have a dance for Koka. He's dancing. He's happy. There's the corrupted ends right now. Those Zerglings having a great time. The Infestors pulling off a moonwalk.
And, well, this is Marine King's last stand, and he will have to GG soon. If he does not, he will lose all of his buildings. And Banelings detonating all of them, in fact, on those barracks. And more Banelings will replace them.
Koka did what so few Zerg players are able to do. He took a 4th on this map and he defended it. He never lost it. And against a player like Marine King, he's at 4 supply. And this is just trolling, 0 supply.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait until the buildings are dead, Marine King.
GG.
GG, Koka does it.
And Koka is just 1 win away from an all kill.
Well, I actually don't blame Marine King doing it right now. He must be so... And look at him, he's so disappointed. I don't blame him at all. I just mentioned that right now, but to be honest with you, I don't blame him. I mean, he is the player that his team was hoping for. They really, exactly, they needed him, and he fell short. He did not play bad, it's just that his opponent played really well.
Phenomenally, a great match. The map was so good. The pressure we saw from Marine King was so careful, but Koka still shut everything down, and the emotions on the Prime bench, you guys can feel them without even looking at that bench. I mean, that's what all Prime fans are feeling right now. And 1 win away from an all kill. This guy has been unstoppable. Prime is down to their last life here, and I think it's probably going to have to be Maru.
I think so too, but for Marine King, this is really bad. He's the player that every single time his team is relying heavily on him, but he knows also, and he mentioned it in former interviews, that there are a lot of players in his team that can do very, very well. Today, they all had one problem, and its name is Koka.
Yeah.
And
he seems to be a problem for the Prime team right now. They weren't even prepared for that. They were prepared for Puzzle as their potential enemy, and he hasn't even shown up yet.
We have so many players still left for the Slayers team. They did not have to show themselves, and now suddenly it's a 4-1 score for Slayers. And Marine King, he just got eliminated, and, well, Koka is looking so strong today.
Marine King and Maru Gerard said it. They planned specifically for Puzzle. Now, already one of them has been killed by Coca, and the other one may have to come out against Coca as well, but he has it prepared specially for him. That Prime coach, Gerard, actually expected their team to force Puzzle out earlier and then use these 2 Terrans as a reply to Puzzle, but now all the plans have changed, everything is upside down, and Coca is 1 game away from an all-kill here, and Gerard is going to have to make the most important choice of all.
I can't actually remember a game on Antigua Shipyard against Zerg where Marine King was not able to at least take a 4th base in the middle of the map, force the creep back, and just make sure that he is the aggressor, that he is the one who actually puts the pressure onto his opponent with his drop play, but we didn't see this at all today. And Marine King is a player, he got orbital already, so he didn't even plan to establish a planetary fortress in the middle of the map. That gives you the advantage that you can lift it, but you can't really defend against run-bys, which we've seen in the past when Marine King played this map. But today, he couldn't even do anything of it. He could rely on the mule, and that's basically all that he was able to achieve with the 4th orbital. It's kind of a little bit like the reverse what we usually see. The Zerg player is the one struggling to take a 4th, not the Terran.
And, well, I see Maru in the corner, and I think it's going to have to be him.
Has to be him. It is him, the Marine Prince.
If the king can't do it, maybe the prince can. And Koga said, well, I took out the king. How hard can this young guy be? Shouldn't underestimate him.
Exactly. Never underestimate Maru. Even though he is not in Code S anymore, this guy is so good. We've seen him in the last GSTL season. But
he was a starter, in fact, showing Raven play against his opponent to begin with.
We've seen reverse all kills. We've seen things that we thought would not be possible, but is he really up to the challenge? It's the long, long road that he has ahead of him.
Yep. And this guy, he's got everything on his shoulders now. He has so many players to beat.
Actually, I don't think he cares. That's the one thing about Maru. He's always like, yeah, whatever, I'm fine. I've never seen him in a state where I would really describe him as being nervous or intimidated.
He certainly never looks like that. The map of choice for him is going to be Entombed Valley, by the way. I think it's a decent choice for him. When you have a map pick this one. Don't pick Muspelheim, you know. Don't pick Atlantis Spaceship, not against the Zerg. That's not something he's going to want to do.
Yeah, the last maps that we have available are Cloud Kingdom, Muspelheim, and Atlantis Spaceship. But guys, before we head in this match, in this Terran versus Zerg here at the GSTL of Slayers up against Prime, we're having another 5-minute break. We'll be back soon. Stay tuned. See you in a few.